Hey you guys, and happy Easter to all of you, from my family to yours. So at Fry's, they have this beautiful prime rib roast on sale for $5.97 a pound. And this is a ribeye roast or prime rib roast. But this is also boneless ribeyes, bone-in ribeyes, back ribs. So or thin cut ribeye. This makes excellent Philly cheesesteaks if you can cut it really thin. So there's a lot of things that you can do out of this piece of ribeye. And at $5.97 a pound at this point in the game, you guys, a bottom round roast costs that much at regular price. So this is an amazing piece of meat and one of my favorites, and one I recommend completely. You see, that's a pretty nice looking ribeye. And we're going to cut this up today. I'm going to make 3 steaks off one side, boneless ribeyes. So we're going to bone this product out. We're going to make 3 steaks out of it, and then we're going to have a nice little roast for our Easter dinner, for family and friends. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to do it. This is how you're going to get it from the Fry's or whatever meat shop you get it from. If you buy a nice big piece, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 bone ribeye. You can see it by the bones here on the ends. And this is going to be a great piece of meat. And I'm looking forward to showing you guys how to cut this and how to do other things with it, with this piece of meat. Remember, even if you get a big piece of meat like this, we're still trying to make multiple meals for our family and save a little bit of money. So this piece of meat, rather than just cook this whole thing, well, no, let's not do that. Let's go ahead and cut it into pieces and, make 2 meals out of it, maybe 3 meals. Maybe it depends on how many people you're feeding. You buy a 4 rib ribeye like this, and say you're feeding 3 people like my family. I only need maybe a rib and a half, or, just a good section of this ribeye to be able to feed my family prime rib. And then you can do some nice thick grilling steaks off the other side of it. And then that way you're getting 2 wonderful ribeye or prime rib dinners. Or you cut thin cuts off this thing. And then you make small breakfast steaks, or you just make a thinner steak for dinner. And you're getting more meals out of it. But at $5.97 a pound, you guys, man, you just can't go wrong. All right, let's cut this baby up. I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, let's give our hands a good wash. Do not forget to wash your hands before you touch this meat. You do not want the bacteria on the outside of this meat, especially if you're going to try to keep it for any amount of time. Make sure and wash your hands. 20 seconds, you guys. 20 seconds. Boy, this is exciting. Getting into a big piece of meat like this can be scary. It can be a little nerve-wracking, and just knowing what you're doing is half the battle, of course. I always say that you don't truly learn how to cut a piece of meat until you take it out of the package yourself and figure out, which way you need to cut it, what you're looking at, what side you're looking at, where the bones are, and then figuring this thing out. So let's get at this thing. We're going to just give this thing a little cut to the side here. Pull this piece of meat out. And there's your ribeye. My Lord, look at that thing there. Woo! That's gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, so I don't know if you can see, you have these little bones here. And what we're going to do in this situation, because we want a little 2-bone roast for Easter dinner, and then I want to take the other 2 bones and bone them out and make 3 steaks out of them. So when you're looking at this thing, between the bones here, you see this chunk of meat right here? You can follow it down, and then you can cut. There's always a space to cut between these bones that you can get your knife through. So you can cut through this meat down and then just etch around that bone a little bit. It's either to the one side or to the other, And as when we get the knife and start doing it, we'll figure it out as we go along. You gotta kind of wiggle your way through there. So let's do this real quick here. I'm just gonna go down into this thing. See that? Oh, you see how that opened up? Right there. And that's how you get through the bone on a bone-in ribeye. It's pretty easy. I probably could have went over here too, but then you don't want to get over into the meat too far. So then now we're just going right through there and just continuing that cut down. Voila. Just like that. There's a nice, beautiful ribeye. And then this is the one we're going to cook for Easter dinner right here. That's the one. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these bones, or I'm going to remove the bones from this rib so that I can season underneath here. You know, because you really want to get that seasoning to that eye of the ribeye. If you look right here, you see the bones. What you want to do is you want to take your knife and just put them like right on top of those bones. And then now all we're doing is following those bones down and around. So keep your knife tight against those bones. Real tight against them. You see how here? See how you can see that bone almost? That's exactly what you want to do. You want to keep it nice and tight. And just work your way down and around. And then right here, see this? So we're not quite all the way into it yet. And that's about as far as I want to go. I want to leave that bone on there. And then that ribeye is ready to go. So now we can lift these bones, season underneath here. Put your garlic cloves in there if you want, you know, or onion or whatever kind of spice that you're, you know, wanting to use on this ribeye. You know, so many different kinds of flavors you can put on them. But you're ready to go in this situation. There it is, Easter dinner. All right, now let's turn this ribeye into some ribeye steaks. We're going to make these boneless ribeye steaks. All I'm doing is just taking a little bit of the fat off of this thing. My wife is very particular about fat, so you'll see me really trim these really good to make sure that there's no fat on it. But of course I'm going to leave one on the end that has a lot of fat on it because I love the fat. So again, we're just looking. Here's your bones. And you just want to rest that blade right on top of those bones almost. You can just feel it. And then just start working your way down those bones. Just like that. You see here? You know, we got into a little meat right there. That's okay. That's okay. Now in this situation, we're going to take that rib all the way off. See down here, there is a little like lip to that bone. So I'm getting into it a little bit. But you just want to work your way around it and then just keep going. And there you go. So this is what it's called, a back rib. So this is the baby back rib of beef. It's a really nice rib. And if you leave just a little more meat on it, you can make some really nice bone-in ribs. And here again, so here's the two bones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make two ribs out of this. You could cook it, you know, like that if you wanted to. It's up to you, but I'm going to personally make two ribs out of this. So we're going to go down this right here, and we're going to go in between this bone right here. And it's going to be the same situation. So watch. We're going to work our way down this thing. See how that's already opened up a little bit? See that? And we're going right through that rib. And voila. Two gorgeous baby back ribs. Now I'll just cook these on the grill like this, basically, up on the top rack so that they don't get done too fast, you know, as say I'm cooking my ribeye steaks. And then, you know, that's just going to be a really nice little meal. All right. So now we have a boneless ribeye. Beautiful piece of meat, right? You never want to cut it this way. You always want to cut it the way the bone was going. So the bone's sitting like that. You want to make sure and cut that because the grains a lot of the times are running across this meat like this. And you don't want to be eating across the grain. That makes for a tough eating experience. I just want to get a little of the fat off my hands from, you know, messing with this meat. Let's get that so that we can get a good stroke for getting through this prime rib or ribeye. Well, now it's going to be a ribeye. It was a prime rib before, or a ribeye roast before. Now we're going to turn it into some ribeye steaks. So let's think about this. What do we want to do? Do we want to make some thin cuts and then make 3 steaks? Or do we want to, say, just make 3 really nice thick steaks? We're just going to make 3 really nice thick steaks. This is what we're going to do with this. Just a nice stroke. You know, when you're cutting meat, it's that push, really. You know, you're pushing down into the meat, so you can't be afraid. You just got to give it a good push and let the knife do the work. So you just get in it and push, 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 and through. Just like that. Oh, look at that beautiful heart-shaped ribeye. Oh, yes. I will teach you how to do that next time. We'll do it real quick right now. So if you took this piece of meat right here and cut it again, but you just don't go all the way through. You cut it to about right here, and then you open it or butterfly that piece of meat out. You can make a beautiful heart-shaped ribeye for your lover. Yes. But there you go, you guys. So this was a 10-pound roast. Remember, it's about 2 pounds per bone, so that's about a 4-pound ribeye roast that we made there. And then we made a couple back ribs, and we made 3 beautiful, gorgeous grilling steaks for the grill within just a few minutes. And these things are going to cook up a lot nicer than anything you get, or pay $15.99 a pound for your boneless ribeye. In your counters, at whatever grocery store you end up going to. All right, guys, just a little demonstration on how to make and utilize that prime rib roast for your Easter dinner. Here's my Easter dinner, and here's a dinner in a couple days. I'll be marinating these next in my classic marinade, as well as the ribs, so that I can get some shelf life out of them, so that they'll stay good until I'm ready to eat them. But this baby right here is getting a nice dry rub, and we'll be ready to cook on Easter dinner. All right, thank you guys. Please like and subscribe. That's what makes it all go around. Thank you very much for spending some time with me. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Please subscribe. Please like. We need that. Thank you. Bye-bye.